Disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.
Welcome to another episode of Fists, Kicks, and Flicks, the podcast about martial arts, movies, and life. I am one of your hosts, Eugene Plowden, and with me, as always, my podcast partners, Joe Hartley and Angel Diaz. What's up, fellas?
What's going on?
I want you to know we are members of the Martial Arts Internet Network. On Mondays, you got Raw with me and Lump. Tuesdays is CTE with Chris, Los, and Travis. Wednesdays is us, Fists, Kicks, and Flicks with Gene, Mike, Joe, and Angel. And Thursdays, you can get the Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. For more information, you can check us out on all of our social media platforms. Just look for the Martial Arts Internet Network on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Fellas, it's showtime. What's going on?
Hey, Gene, what's going on?
Not much, man.
Not a bad weekend. Pretty busy from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday, my boy's getting married. He's marrying a Chaldean girl, so they do things a little differently. They had what's called a henna, and I guess, in my opinion, it was like the shower, but it's a party.
Mm-hmm.
We were in Warren at a Mediterranean restaurant. Colorful drums, DJ, drinks, food, dancing, lots and lots of dancing. And they, if you're in the wedding, which I am, I'm the best man. They put you in robes and a headpiece.
Mm-hmm.
So it was an experience. It was a lot of fun, but it was an experience. And then that was Friday. Saturday, I went out to dinner.
So hold on, Joe. Did you sit in a chair and they lift you up and do that when they?
No.
Do
I think that's someone told me that it might be at the wedding, but I'm not going to be sitting in the chair. It's going to be the bride, so we'll see.
And the groom. I don't know if other people. I didn't know if other people did it also. Like people at the wedding party. I didn't know if they did it also.
I don't know if they have enough people to pick my big butt up.
That would be entertaining, man. That would be entertaining. Go ahead, man. Continue.
So Saturday went out to Fenton, had dinner with my father-in-law and that our whole family. They were celebrating my wife graduating and my brother-in-law graduating from college. We didn't get to celebrate the first time around because of COVID and everything. So this was our chance to celebrate. Had a really nice dinner. Okay. Adult dinner, no kids. So that made it, something I don't get to do too often, but it was fun. And then yesterday, my sister was in town from Florida, so we had the whole family over, including my brother, my nieces and nephews. Just hung out on the lake, had some lunch and dinner, and got to have some fun with the family.
Okay, sweet. What about you, Bugs? What's going on, man?
Yeah, I'm so upset, but it's fine.
Are you talking about for our pre-show? I mean, come on now, Angel. I mean,
like that's like ridiculous, man. That's
I don't know, man. Like I was telling you before, when me and Mike started this podcast, I woke up out the blue. I called him and said, "Let's do a podcast. Let's review movies. Let's do martial arts movies. Let's review it." He's like, "Okay, cool. What do I need?" I was like, "I don't know, a microphone." He said, "Okay, I'm about to go get one right now." And he went. I mean, just common sense. Like, if you're doing a podcast, you have microphones, right?
No, I don't remember because I remember when you approached me. I don't remember if I just asked you if I should get a microphone or if you just told me, because you just told me to go to like Walmart and get something decent.
I think you asked
won't
me.
Be a big deal.
Yeah,
I must have asked you.
Now that I'm saying this, now that I want everyone to know, that's ridiculous because Gene approached me. Let me tell you something. I knew who Gene was because I'm a huge fan of the show, but I didn't know Gene. Like we never even
Nope.
Actually, the only time we talked was when I did Virtual Fight Tour for the first time. And Gene just messaged me and said, "You got a bright future. I loved watching you fight." That's all he said. And I was like, "Man, thank you so much." Then he tells me he wanted me to be on the show. I was like, I like literally I almost died. I almost had a heart attack. I said, yeah, obviously I'm gonna do a show. Like I would love to do this. He never once said, you need to get a microphone, you need this, you need that. All he said was, all right, cool, we film on this day, I'll see you then. That's all. That's all.
I just thought it was common sense.
That's all.
If I'm an Angel, if I'm going to take you swimming, I don't think I should have to tell you to get some trunks. I'm just assuming, man, if you show up without trunks, I'm going to put you back in the car and send you back home. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Wait, there ain't no skinny dipping going on over here. That's not happening.
This is what my whole thing. I never got a microphone. I'm not even joking. I never got a microphone or a backdrop because, in my view, you guys are talking the same way I am. So I want to throw you guys up in case a video gets posted. Little do I know, then you out here, you guys got microphones. This is ridiculous.
I ain't got no backdrop. I'm in my office. I'm in my home office. You know, I ain't got a backdrop. No, you ain't got a backdrop.
No, I'm in my bedroom.
I
got a microphone.
I'm prepared. I look cheap right now. I look cheap.
So for a year and a half, you've been recording without a microphone.
Without a microphone. I barely use AirPods.
So are you going to blame it on yourself, or are you going to blame it on the director for not supplying you with the proper material in order for you to do your job?
I blame it on HR because they didn't plan me for this correctly. I blame it on the person who runs this show because all they said was, "Hey, you want to do a show? Cool. Be there on this day at this time." That's it. And then I blame our new director because I feel like he's known about this and he's just letting me. So everybody, I'm not like yo. No,
you act like the whole world's against you. We're not against you. We
that's
don't
what
know.
it sounds like.
How was I supposed to know?
Hey, he sounds like he just came back from a tournament. He's complaining about the judges. That's what's going on.
But wait. Do you listen to other podcasts? Do you watch other podcasts?
Yes.
You've never. Every other podcast I've ever watched, like you could see a microphone.
No, every other podcast has the people in front of them, and they're in a nice city.
Angel, I think you're gonna lose. I think you're gonna lose this argument with whoever you have this debate with, bro.
Hold up. I'm just saying, but they all started somewhere. I mean, you got to start somewhere. You don't just wake up and you're popular unless, like, you know, some of these people are already famous starting podcasts.
I don't know where we're going with this, but I'm still back to the whole fact.
Well, I'm just saying.
We gonna get you a mic, man. We gonna get you a mic. I didn't know you did not have a microphone. I mean,
bullshit. I really thought when I did those shows with Jeff the other day, I was like, damn, man, Jeff's an overachiever. He got a little Wi-Fi hotspot, a microphone that came out of nowhere. He just started moving it. I'm like, oh, he an overachiever. Like, damn, like literally, I was like, we need to step our game, but we don't got mics.
You didn't know Joe and I had mics. That's just crazy.
So right now, like it's crazy. That's crazy. I thought you were talking from your headphones. That's how dumb I am. That's nuts.
Yeah, that is, bro. But let's talk about your weekend. How was your weekend, man?
I don't even want to talk about my weekend. Now it's I'm going to complain about the weekend.
Wait, you came back from Philly. You was down in Philly. Was y'all hanging out? Were you competing?
Oh man, I did a tournament. I got second place. It came down to me and Bailey for the final again. Second week in a row this happened. Done. Over with. Let's go. Move on. Crazy. I'm not because this is something about judges and shit. I don't want to do that. I'm not even going to it.
Man, it's hey, Angel, is your girl there?
Don't even.
I'm asking if she's there. If she's listening, if she's in the room, I'm just gonna say, just please, Mrs. Angel, come give Angel a hug. He needs a hug right now. Give that boy a hug. He needs one. Mrs. Angel, please. I don't know her name. That's why I gotta call her Mrs. Angel. I don't know her name. So
she's not here. I wish she was right now. I wish she was. Need that damn hug. Honestly, if she was here, she'd probably still say, "Why don't you have a microphone?" Like that. Like she would.
She won. She won.
I don't even want to do that. That's just ridiculous, bro.
We learned something, Joe. We learned something new about Angel every single week.
Like,
almost every week. I'm telling you.
I tell you like how upset I am, because then there's the other part. Then Jeff is gonna be stupid this at 8 a.m. on Wednesday. He's gonna hit me up, say, "Damn, you don't got a mic." And then last thing is for Ric Flair's sidekick to come over here and say, "Damn, I have a mic, you don't have a." The last thing I need.
Yeah, G Money got up that morning. I think I texted him like 10 o'clock in the morning. He had one by 12.
I was saying that. G Money, you listening to this? Give me that damn microphone. You obviously ain't using it. Just give it to me. No, I'm not even doing this.
Oh,
That's
man.
crazy. That's crazy.
This is crazy. What's this episode? 105? Yeah, I'm not making it to 106.
All right. So my week was pretty cool, man. I don't know, man. I'm just always going. I'm always on the move. Yes.
I just made the freaking soundbite. Watch this clip get posted.
Oh yeah, it definitely will. Yeah, it's gonna be titled "Who Does a Podcast Without Mics?"
I made such a soundbite. Oh, all right, go ahead, keep going. Oh my god.
I'm quite sure the director will let my brother know this. Anyway. Yeah, so my weekend, everything's been cool, man. It just goes by in a blur. You know what's weird, Joe? I know how, I mean, you grew up in this area. You grew up in Michigan. Have you noticed that restaurants are closing a lot earlier now than they used to on Friday? Because, Fridays I get done at the dojo at about 8:30 after the last class. And, normally, me and Melissa, we would go out to dinner or something, Friday. But now, like, by the time I get done, get home, shower, change, whatever, a lot of restaurants are shutting down like at 9 or 10 o'clock, so a lot of times it's like we're rushing to try and find some place to go eat. And then we get there, we can't either get in or they're about to close or whatever. Have you noticed that? Like, is that the case out there?
I have, and especially like I worked in the restaurant business for a while, like Fridays and Saturdays. You weren't getting out there before 11.
Right. Yeah, I remember. I'm sure I remember going out on dates and going out about 9 or 10 o'clock. Going to a restaurant now, man, that's crazy. So so we just kind of been chilling at home on Friday nights now and going out on Saturdays. So Saturday we did go out. We ended up going to a jazz festival. This famous jazz singer from Detroit, Kimmy Horn, she had a festival here in Detroit in Southfield. And me and Mel, we went to that. My parents were there also. So after about an hour or so, we found them and sat down and watched the rest of the show with them. So we had a nice little evening, Saturday night.
Sounds fun.
It was nice. Saturday afternoon, I hung out with Champ. We did some things. Let me ask you this too, Joe. Do you ever have a hard time buying gifts for women?
So I just talked because like my wife just had her birthday and she's not hard to buy for, but she is because she's not very materialistic.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And so like the gift I did for her birthday is the kids and I, we painted her some paintings because she's an art teacher, so I figured something like that she would enjoy. And I'm not a painter, so it's not spectacular, but she loved it. I mean, she likes that. She's gonna get a nice frame and she's gonna put them all together, and she loves that stuff. But like it's hard for me to find that because I get her some jewelry, some flower. I mean, she'll like it, but she won't be like, when I'm trying to get that wow factor, I really have to think, like it really has to be thought out and from the heart.
Well, it's easy. It's kind of easy for me to buy Melissa something when it's time, because I pay attention to her, throughout the weeks, days, months leading up to, whether it's Mother's Day, Christmas, birthday, whatever, right? But my mom's birthday was on the 12th, and I don't know what to get her. I went and said happy birthday. I asked her what she wanted. She said, She won't tell me. She won't say anything. So I
Yep.
looked at my dad. I said, "What did you get her?" And at the time he said, "I haven't gotten her anything. I don't know what to get her. She won't tell me. She won't say anything." I'm like, how can we? I was like, I'm not here. I don't live here, so it's not like I'm around my mom all the time. So how would I know what to get? Like, she has a lot of stuff. It's not like as a kid you could buy her stuffed animal, or you'd be done. Buy her hat or whatever. It's time out for those type of gifts now. So I asked Trav. I said, "Hey, what'd you get mom?" And he was like, "I ain't got her nothing yet." And I'm like, what? Like, come on, she got to tell us something. So my mom is the hardest person to buy for. I ain't got to worry about her hearing this. I don't think she listens to the podcast, so I ain't got to worry about her hearing nothing. But still, like, she is the hardest person to find a gift or buy something. I think I'm gonna have to start contacting family members and relatives and just sending out a text message like, "What do you think I should get my mom?" Because it's hard. It's hard buying something for her.
Now, the other thing, like for other holidays and stuff, for my wife especially, she doesn't really update all her technology. So I usually do that. Like, I'll look for like a Ring video doorbell, for security and stuff, or some Alexa stuff around the house. I got my wife a Alexa Show that she uses all the time, and then little ones so she can communicate with the up and downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
But if I do that for my parents, oh my God, I'm never going to hear the end of it because, they're older right now and they don't do well with new technology.
No parents do. My parents like, don't either.
But they could benefit from it. But oh my God, the headache it would be for like the first month or so. I'd be getting phone calls every day about the damn thing.
And then they'll break it and they'll stop working or something. Like, I had got my mom a Fitbit. I got her Fitbit a few years ago. Because whenever any of us call her, she does not answer her cell phone. She just don't do it. But like, why? I called you. Like, what if it's an emergency? She's like, oh, I get the message. Like, mine. You got to keep your phone on you. You're older now. You just cannot be. So I got her Fitbit. So with the Fitbit, when she gets a call, it'll be right here on the wrist. Gene called or Trav called or Ray. Somebody called. So she can get She still don't answer the phone or don't call us back, or it stopped working. And then she said, "Oh, that thing stopped working. I don't know." I'm like, "Mom, why you didn't say nothing to one of us so we can get it fixed or whatever?"
Or it just probably has to be charged.
Man, no, I don't know what she does with this technology stuff, because then I come back, or Trav come back, we try and fix it, and for whatever reason, I don't know what she did, but it's not working the way that it's supposed to work anymore.
Yep.
So it's like, what the heck, So
I don't know, man.
Yeah. So other than that, man, I hung out with Champ, did some school shopping for him, got him all situated on Saturday. Me and his mom, we got him situated. He's doing good in golfing. He picked up golfing. We put him in golfing a couple weeks ago, so he's doing good in that. He's enjoying that a lot. So my plan, my plan is to have him do that. He's going to golf in the summertime and swim in the winter. That's my plan for him, because he loves doing both activities, And then yesterday, man, me and Mel just kind of hung out around the house, and we did our grocery shopping for the week, and we watched TV, watched the movie, watched It Man 3, and just got ready for our normal week. She had a lot of studying and homework to do for school, so she did that, and that was pretty much it, man.
So what'd you think of this one compared to the second one?
Huh? That's an interesting question. I never. I enjoyed the movie. I have not hated any of these movies.
I agree.
I mean, the ending was sad as hell. Oh, yeah. I didn't see that coming. I didn't see that coming at all.
Not one bit.
What I was wondering though was, at this point in time, where are the grandkids or great grandkids of these people? They have to be around or something, right?
Something, yeah, for something.
Now, did you guys notice the mistake that was made in this movie?
What?
Where was the second baby?
Exactly. That is it. Exactly. That there was no signs that this kid even existed.
I'm just saying.
She was pregnant in the second movie. She has the baby in the second movie. They even flash back in this movie. But there is no baby toys. We don't see the kid. I know that they don't have money for a nanny. So I was like, man, what happened? Did something tragic happen to the kid? Did they
trying to figure out the same
did they
thing.
realize they couldn't afford them because they didn't have much money in the last movie?
No.
So I didn't know if they gave him up for adoption. Like, where's the other kid? You know, I have no idea. That's probably a question for the big sushi Jeff Doss. He might know. Angel, have you heard anything, or do you know why the second kid was not talked about or anything?
No,
it was very odd.
Do you guys know what the time difference was between this movie and the and the last movie? Was it like a 5 years, or was it 2 year difference, or what was up?
I'll look at that.
Okay. Okay.
This was Ip Man 3 was 2015.
No. I didn't mean that. I'm talking about in the story, in the movie. Like what?
Oh, like the timeline of the actual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any idea? Like this one takes place in 1959. I see that. I have no idea. I don't remember what year the other movie was.
1932, I think, was the other one, wasn't it?
Oh, then that's some bad editing then, because
because wasn't that type of boxer would have only been in like the 30s.
If that's the case, then the kid should have been like 17 years old. He was a little he was a little kid in the first two movies. If there's been that big of a gap in time, he needs to be 18, 19, 20 years old. He can't be a little kid. You know, what does he forget to grow up?
So then maybe that's what they're telling us. Maybe this is the second kid and the other kids in the war or something. I don't know. I don't know, man.
If that's the case, that's some bad storytelling.
It's all over the place.
Yeah. But yeah, I didn't mind it. I enjoyed this movie just as much as the last movie. Now I'm doing an angel. Pre-show jokes. Pre-show jokes.
It's just one of those things that's not going to go away.
I'm looking to see when it was.
Okay. All right. Cool. What about you, Joe? What did you think about this movie compared to the last one?
I think I like this one slightly a little bit better. The storytelling in this one was better than it was in the second one, and then about the same for the action. So, I like all the fight scenes still. Some of the fight scenes were getting a little ridiculous, but we've noticed that as the movies progress. So, and then Mike Tyson in the movie really made no sense to me.
Yeah, it didn't. And you know what else it didn't make sense with Mike Tyson? Why was Mike's voice dubbed? And not only was his voice dubbed, his voice was dubbed to sound like him.
To sound like him, but tougher. Like more, not as low, lower, but not as that squeaky voice.
Yeah, but he had the lisp still.
Yeah, he still had the lisp, but they made him like lower.
Yeah, I was like,
it was weird.
Yeah, it was weird. I didn't get that part, and honestly, the whole story with Mike Tyson did not make any sense. Because go ahead, Angel.
1950 was the second movie, and 1959 was the third one.
A 9-year gap.
9-year gap, yeah.
So yeah, Joe, this must have been.
That kid should have at least been a teenager.
Yeah. So this maybe okay. So maybe you're right, Joe. Maybe this kid was the baby from the first movie, and the other kid was just gone. That's the only thing that would make sense.
It really is.
And I don't remember the name of the kid in the first two movies. The kid in this movie, he said his name. Let me see if I can look that up.
Wow.
Oh yeah. His sons' names were Ip Chun and Ip Ching. Huh.
Which one was older?
No, I have no idea.
Those are
I think this one was Ching.
This one was Ching?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's what they kept calling him.
Oh yeah, I have. Okay, so the other kid is gone. Yeah,
it's interesting.
Yes, you know what? check this out. So I'm looking at it on Wikipedia, and I might as well start. It says 1959, Ip Man lives a low-profile life in Hong Kong. His elder son, Ip Chun, has returned to Foshan to study, leaving Ip and with his younger son, Ip Ching, and his wife, Ching Wing Sing. Goodness gracious.
They never... I know the names in this movie. Oh, my Lord. Yeah, so, I mean, that makes sense, but it was never explained.
It wasn't. It wasn't at all. Okay.
That's so. I mean, and it would have just been a simple.
And I'm gonna say this right now: his son is an idiot. Then, Ip Chun, why would you go back to Foshan? Y'all ran away from that area. Why would you go back? That was stupid.
Yeah. And was the son trained at all?
Which one? The older one or this kid?
I mean, the little one wasn't, because he got his butt whooped.
Yeah,
a couple of times. He was coming home with black eyes all the time. So if he had an ounce of what his daddy was putting out, he would have been beating some kids up. But he was getting black eyes left and right.
What do you guys think? The opening scene, we see Bruce Lee, or the character who was playing Bruce Lee. What did you guys think of this scene?
Unless they were going to do something with him, which they really didn't, what was the point?
I don't know. I don't know at all.
I feel like they just like to reiterate that he was one of Bruce Lee's teachers. I think that's all.
And they can do that, but it's a right way to do that, right? Because wasn't Bruce Lee a kid when he went to go train with Ip Man?
He was like 15.
He was 15.
Yeah.
This guy did not look 15 to me. He looked a little older than 15. I thought he was all of 20, 21. Even though Ip Man did call him a kid, he didn't look 15 to me.
You know what's crazy? He probably could. I don't know, because if you think about the little Bruce Lee that was in the second one, it was a 9-year gap. He has to be maybe within that 15 to 21 range.
Yeah. About how old was he when we saw him in the last movie? About what, 8 or 9?
I would say
8 or 9.
So he has to be at least 18, maybe 20s.
Yeah, so like you said, like he started training with it on at 15, so okay. And once again, I don't understand why they have him doing his mannerisms from a Bruce Lee movie. Like, I don't think Bruce Lee really will walk around like that and doing those things. Do you?
Who he was at that time to even do that?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I said he didn't even know who he was at that time to do that.
Yeah. Just how he would talk.
Like, Bruce Lee didn't know he was gonna do this and do all that at 9. Like, they ain't gonna.
All right.
Yeah,
all right,
they just want us. They just want us to know who he is. By doing that.
Hold on, Angel. You got to explain what you just did, because we're on a podcast. People can't see you. What you just did.
His signature, like, touch of the nose, the shrug, the point at himself, like the ego. The ego, but just like his charisma. He didn't find that until he started doing movies. Like, that's when he found that. He's not doing that at 9. He ain't doing that at 15 either. It may start to develop at that age, but he's not really gonna find that until he's doing the acting and finding himself more.
Tell me this.
He even had the facial expressions like him also. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah. One big question I was kind of having was, as cocky and as confident as Bruce Lee seems to have come off, because the way he's portrayed in most things, it seems that Ip Man wouldn't put up with something like that.
You're right.
So I wonder where that came from, because like Ip Man is so humble. I mean, he's. I just feel like I wouldn't guess that he would have been Bruce Lee's trainer based off these movies. And based off the way he comes off as being a very humble, down-to-earth, trying to avoid fights, but fighting for the right reason, and respecting the art of Kung Fu. I just don't see him dealing with someone who's going to be cocky, wanting to fight all the time, and has to prove something. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I just realized? Basically what Angel just said. So Bruce Lee started training with Ip Man at about 15 or 16, anywhere from 14 to 16. Okay, he starts training. How old was Bruce Lee when he came to America? He was like 20, right? 20 or 21?
Something like that.
Yeah, he was about 20 or 21, I believe, because he was working in that restaurant. I think they let us believe that he was 21. Plus, he did go to college also. So he was around that age. He wasn't too much older than that. So Bruce Lee had only been training for about 5 or 6 years. And he was that cocky?
Exactly.
Wow.
And you know, they hope their dad comes home, so they gotta get a black belt in a day or two. You know, you never know what could happen.
That movie. Oh, you weren't even here for that review. Oh Lord.
No, that is one I don't miss.
So the movie starts off with Ip Man's son, Ip Ching, and he is fighting a classmate of his. And man, I'm going to butcher these names. I'm sorry for any Asian, Chinese people that's listened. I'm so sorry for butchering these names. What was this kid's name? They said it at the beginning. Chow Fung? No, that's the dad. Yeah, that's the dad. Anyway, I'm not gonna even try and pull it back to look see what his name is.
It was very similar to the dad's name, but
yeah. So Ip Man's son is fighting this kid at school. Ip Man shows up. The kid also, his dad is called. The mom is already there, and she's still irritated. She's been irritated for this is the third movie we've seen with her, and she still has the attitude. She's still irritated. I'm surprised. I'm surprised. Ip Man didn't pick up on her anger sooner. Like, I would have thought he would have just gave up being a martial arts instructor and, I don't know, open up a restaurant or something. You know, something that they could have both done together. You know, she's still upset that he's never really around. He's always fighting. And she seems like she's pretty much at this point in time, she seems like she's at her breaking point, honestly. If she didn't get sick, they might have had some marital problems. What do you guys think?
Then, she called him a good husband, even though he was acting like he probably could have been better.
Mm-hmm. So this is also something strange. I don't know if this will happen in today's society. So they end up taking the little boy home with them because they noticed that he was hungry. So they took him home to give him dinner, and they told the teacher or principals, they said, okay, let his dad know that he will be at our house.
After just getting in a fight with the son, and then they said the dad works late, so we'll just take him home and feed him, and then have the dad come pick him up there.
Yeah, I would be pissed. I'll go pick up Champ, and he's not at school. He's at his friend's house, and me and his mom didn't know. You know that the school. I would go off on the teachers, the principal, everybody. Like, you can't do that nowadays. So I'm quite sure it wouldn't happen, now. But the dad does go. He doesn't seem like he has an issue. But he seems like he was irritated, but I didn't know, like, that could have been for a number of different things. He could have had a bad day at work. He could have been new in town. We really didn't know. But he was appreciative for them taking their son home and giving them something to eat. Now the dad, as of right now, he pulls a rickshaw. That's his job. So he doesn't have much money at this point of the movie. Do you guys got anything else that you want to say about? I think his name is Chung Tin Chi.
He practices the same type of kung fu that Ip Man is famous for.
They came from the same school, right?
I believe that they talked about it. Yes.
Yeah. But they didn't know each other. They didn't know each other.
Yeah, they didn't know each other, and a little bit down the road, he said that Ip Man was modifying the original version of that kung fu, and he was kind of he was very upset about it. He said he was disrespecting the kung fu, which I don't know. I didn't see where that was happening, but he was acting like it was. So I guess I'll have to take his word for it. I mean, his kung fu looked different by a little bit, but it all looked pretty similar.
Mm-hmm. And that's the same thing Bruce Lee was doing also. He was modifying Wing Chun.
Yeah, and that's where he came up with the Jeet Kune Do. But I mean, there's something can always get better. So, why not, put your own spin on it? I guess those times, I guess it's a little different because, I mean, think about all the different kinds of martial arts we have now in comparison, So.
Oh yeah, I'm quite sure. Some of my students, whoever decides to open up a school, in the future, they're going to modify what we're teaching. Also, so they'll probably get rid of forms and one steps. That's
definitely one
get deleted. The next scene, we're introduced to Mike Tyson's character. For whatever reason, I don't know. He's a foreigner in this land. He looks like he's some type of businessman that promotes fights. He has fights, and for whatever reason, he wants the school that Ip Man's son goes to. He says it's prime real estate. Unless I missed it, I did not see what he was planning to use that location for. Did you guys pick up on anything? Did I miss something? He just wants the school. He just wants that
wanted the school. And he kind of is like a gangster, basically.
Maybe he thought by him getting the school, it's almost like saying like, I have Ip Man under my control, like as like a teacher. You know what I'm saying? It's like people who like do like commercial karate. You know what I'm saying? Is there like a place by you that there's like a commercial like?
Yeah, I'm not gonna say McDojo, but is that what you're meaning? Like something like that? Yeah, there's a couple franchise schools.
Franchise, that's what it is. Yeah. I don't want to say McDojos either, but like it could be that like his way of doing the beginnings of
but
that.
He never alluded to really knowing Ip Man until Ip Man started cramping his style.
Yeah, I don't know. We just don't know. But for whatever reason, Mike Tyson's character wanted the school. Let me see if I can go back and find his name because I don't think I got his name either. Frank. His name is Frank. I don't know if they said that. I don't know if they said that though.
I don't remember saying that at
all. Yeah, I don't either.
His name is Mike Tyson.
So Ip Man is treated differently now in the martial arts community compared to how he was treated in the last movie. He's welcomed. Yeah. Everyone seems to love him. Even the martial arts masters, like they have a lot of respect for him. They even sat down and took a picture. They have him in the middle. He was trying to be humble and not be in the middle also of this picture, but they were like, no, we want you here in the middle. So that was nice. He had a lot of women trying to help him out and giving him food and talking to him, which of course his wife did not like too much.
No, she shouldn't.
He was just sitting there. Somebody comes up to you and gives you a bowl of soup. What are you gonna say? No, I can't take the soup.
I only drink my wife's soup.
That's Angel. That would be Angel. I cannot drink or eat this soup. Whatever you do to soup, I don't know. I cannot digest this soup.
I don't even dare get away with that. I can tell y'all what happened a few weeks ago when I went to the gym with her. Man, I'm in the mirror, like.
Hold on. Before you continue, will this story get you in any trouble? If so, just don't even tell us right now. Just
no.
Okay.
No, like I'm in the mirror and I'm lifting, and I was looking at karate videos, and we started off in like the same area, and I walked away, went to go do my lifts over here, like because they had the weights, and then in she comes. I kind of like saw her, but I didn't like look at her, and she like goes and does the machine that's facing me. So I'm facing this way, but she's facing me this way. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at my phone lifting, and I see as a text that says, "I'm watching you." And she put like eyes, and I literally look, And I was like, what am I doing? Like, I'm just letting you know I'm watching you. Don't get no stupid ideas.
You know what, Angel? You really do provide us with some nice little sound bites. Because now I'm going to text you. I'm watching you. That's what I'm going to do.
If you do that, I'll really be like, this is cool. Like, wait a minute. I'll fall for that. Don't do that.
I'm quite sure Jeff might do it. Travis might do it. You might have the whole main gang randomly texting you through the day. I'm watching you.
If I get a random Facebook message from someone that just says I'm watching you, it's better over. If I get a random message from someone saying I'm watching you,
all right. So Frank sends some of his guys to the school to purchase the school. The guy, the principal, who is also, I guess, the owner of the school, he does not want to sell, and they beat him up for not selling. Now, the funny part was, as he was approaching the school, the thugs kind of passed Ip Man, and he just kind of looks at him. And I thought it was weird that he looked at them funny when he saw them approaching the school. And then he goes back into the school and he sees them beating up the principal, and then a fight breaks out. And he beats up the thugs for beating up the principal. Me personally, I would have kept on walking. I wouldn't have thought nothing of those guys as they were passing. I mean, you see all types of people all the time. I'm not about to pass judgment on these guys. They could have been there picking up their badass kid or something, you know. Yeah, I said it.
That's what I was saying. Yeah,
because when it happened, I looked at Melissa. I said, "Why is he turning around? Like, why is he looking at him like that?" She was like, "Maybe he felt something." I'm like, go on about your day. Go see your wife. She wants to see you.
They didn't look like they belong. They didn't look like they belong.
There's a lot of people that be dropping and picking kids up that look like they. Anyway, I'm gonna keep going. Before HR contacts me. All right. So Ip Man beats these guys up, and now we know what the problem is going to be. You guys got anything else?
No, they were going to some crazy lengths to try and get to school.
Yeah, and they come back at night, but when they came back at night, they were just going to burn the damn school down. Now, luckily, for whatever reason, Ip Man had him and his students. They decided to stay at the school to protect the school. And my thought was, you can't stay there forever. You know, you guys not even the police. Like this can't even be legal for y'all to do that. Like, tell Fatso, what's going on. Let the principal.
Fatso tried, but they got him they got the director in his pocket.
Yeah. So Ip Man and his students decide that they were going to protect the school, and for the movie, it's a good thing that they did. I thought they were going to build on that little romance that we started to see between, I don't know, that must have been a teacher. That was his son's teacher and one of his students. But they just touched on that real briefly, and then that was it. We really didn't see too much of Ip Man's students anymore after that. We didn't even see him teaching them, really.
No, and not only that, but, I mean, he was by himself at one point, and the 3-on-1 battle he couldn't handle. He wasn't Ip Man, that's for sure. Like, he was handling one guy by himself, no problem. But when it was like 3 and 4, it wasn't going to happen.
Right. And then, sure enough, Frank sends all his guys, and this time it's a lot of them. It's more than it was that initially came to the school. It was about 4 of them that came to the school at first, but this time it was a bunch of them. They came with sticks and everything, and then a fight breaks out. What did you guys think about this fight scene?
I liked it.
Yeah, you know what?
I liked it too.
Yeah, I mean, this movie, to me, I didn't see a lot of the fake karate stuff that we normally see in movies, like that was in the second movie. I didn't see it like when they were standing on the tables fighting and they're jumping up in the air and spending an extra amount of time. I didn't see much of that in this movie at all.
They didn't do much of it.
No. But the fight scene was pretty cool. Of course, they beat up the thugs and ran them off.
And the other master showed up.
Yeah, go ahead, Joe.
I just don't remember his name.
Just Tenchi. Just call him Tenchi.
Timchi showed up, and he showed us what he could do, and yeah, he could definitely hold his own.
Yeah, he showed up with his ricksaw too.
Yep, but he seemed to have some very powerful kicks.
Mm-hmm.
He was really accentuating his kicks a lot and making people fly, basically.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But like I said, I still didn't see a huge difference in where he was talking about how his was so much different than Ip Man's.
No, I didn't either. I didn't either.
So, but I knew from this point that eventually they were going to have those two fight. I didn't know how it was going to happen, but you knew
I did. You know what? I thought it might happen, but I thought, okay, he's not the bad guy in this at first. I thought he was going to end up being a partner.
I don't. Yeah, that would have been better, but I still don't think even the way it all went down that he was necessarily the bad guy. I think he felt like he should have got some attention, not just Ip Man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now in this movie, also it lets us see. It made Fatso look more like a police officer because, like the last movie, we really couldn't tell. This one,
yeah.
He thought he was everything. He thought he was a gangster.
Yeah.
He was a promoter.
Right. Anything else?
Well, so after not being able to burn down the school and not sending 100 men didn't work, their next objective was to steal children.
Yeah. That was crazy.
And the only way they were able to do that, they actually hired Taifu to who was fighting underground for them, so they knew he was a good fighter. They hired him to set the principal straight.
Mm-hmm.
And he did it reluctantly. He covered his face to do it, but he needed the money, so he did it reluctantly, and it caused Ip Man. Oh no, this wasn't. He didn't attack the principal. He attacked the other master who was going after the. He was going after the second in command gangster because he was a former student.
They were outnumbered with this fight, though. They were outnumbered.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. But so he went after him to keeping Ip Man away from the school. And then with Ip Man not being at the school, a few of them came by and stole a group of children, including Ip Man's children and Typhon's kid, which ended up not working in his favor. Because you got a guy working for you, then you take his kid too. That was stupid.
Well, they didn't know that was his kid.
Yeah, true. So now Ip Man is visiting the master, making sure he's okay, and then he really, the more he's talking, he realizes that it was a distraction. Now he's got to run to the school, and finds out that his kid is missing. So of course he goes and he handles that. Typhon, he shows up, says, "Hey, why did you take my kid?" And they're like, "Oh, we're sorry, we didn't know." And he starts walking away, and then his kid tells him, "Hey, what about my friends? What about Ip Man? Blah blah blah." So he does come back and help out and to save all the children. But that whole scene was, the fighting was okay, but all the screaming, like his kids screaming and stuff like that, like shut up, man. That part, it was unnecessary. You can be scared, but you don't gotta scream. He was like, oh man, that'd be nuts. Too long. They did that too long.
Now something else started happening at this time. We find out that Ip Man's wife has cancer. She's sick. She's having all of these pains in her lower abdomen, and she ends up going to the doctor, and they wanted to do some tests, and then eventually we find out that she has cancer. I have a feeling Angel cried at this part. He said, "Don't do it."
No one cried. Don't do that.
You didn't cry, Angel?
Don't do that.
Did you get sad, Angel?
Ain't no one getting sad. Why are we talking? Why y'all getting sad? What are we like?
I thought of you. I thought
It's
of you.
okay to be sensitive. It's
There
okay.
it is.
There we go. Now another soundbite. Now I'm not.
So we find out that but this whole thing was sad. It really was. I was like, man, Angel's
Yeah,
probably
really.
What
boohooing.
the yo?
I really did think that. I was like, man, Angel's probably sad as hell about this.
Yo, like for real, like why am I the dude that would get sad? Like why do I gotta be emotional?
I don't know. I just thought you might got sad at this part. I was like, man.
And then,
Like why I got like it seems like you would like to see the action. You don't want to see this part of it.
that wouldn't mean I'll get sad. I'll get upset that it's even on the screen, but it's not sad. Like I'm not like whatever. You guys have set me up this whole entire.
I'm not trying to set you up, bro. I'm just saying.
You set me up with my damn TV. You've heard it for a year and a half.
We didn't even talk about that part on the show.
I brought it up now. Here we go. Then the microphone. Then I'm getting sad about that. Then you said, "Oh, it's complaining about judges that I just fought at a tournament this past weekend." Then we talk about, with my girl. Like, here we go. Y'all just set me up. Like, it's crazy, bro. It's set me up. Like, I can't. I can't.
Oh
Okay.
man.
We still love you.
Yeah. This is all for you, Angel. This is all for you.
Y'all just be giving it material. Like, you don't even need to go anywhere for it. You just be giving it to him. Like, crazy.
Go ahead.
For what? Oh, so
Okay.
so basically, to wrap the movie up, he eventually finds out about the cancer because she wasn't going to tell him at first.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I thought you were about to go right to the fight scene. I wanted to talk about a couple other scenes before we got there, but yeah.
Oh
go ahead.
no. So he does find out, that because the whole thing with the son being taken and everything freaks everyone out, and she's upset, and she says, he's like, oh, he's going to be okay, everything's fine, and so that's when she's like, but I might not be fine.
Right.
And so then we find out more, and she's definitely, she's only got like 6 months. And during the 6 months, like Itman really takes it upon himself to be there for her, be a better husband. He's not doing his normal fighting and taking care of everybody else. Like he's realizing like he needs to do the things he can with his wife now while he has the time.
Right.
And during this time, he actually gets challenged by Tai Fong.
Yeah. Now I don't know what. I don't know. I don't think that was his name though.
I know. Well, you know what?
Chung Ten Chi.
What? Chung Ten Chi. Why does he got 3 names? I don't. Oh, that's hard.
Don't you got a middle name?
Oh yeah, but who calls me by all 3 of my names? Nobody.
I don't know.
Unless I'm in trouble.
That must be a parent thing.
Or a wife.
Oh yeah. So then he decides that he's about to start spending more time. Now Chung Ten Chi decides that he's going to open up a school. Now originally he didn't have much money. He tried to do it earlier in the movie. He could not afford the school. But eventually he does when he decides that he wants to start teaching kung fu. This kind of pissed me off. He goes and starts fighting the masters, right? He did not have to fight on that fucking table like Ip-Man. If I was Ip-Man, I'm like, oh, hell no. He's not teaching. Put his ass on the table like I had to do, and let's fight then. He's beating people in front of their schools, at their homes, in the streets.
The guy that used to do the table thing is gone, man. I mean, I guess they changed it.
He can't be the only one. These guys all are about tradition. I would think that somebody else would have been like, no, okay, now we got to sit around in a circle, call everybody, come to this one place. Let's get the big table. Even though it's broken, we got a new one. Let's put it in the center of the floor, put his ass on top of the table. Let's fight. And Ip-Man's going to be the last person you fought.
And then tell him if he wins, you got to pay $100.
Yep.
Yeah, right. Right. But that wasn't the case for him. He was going around. He was kind of like the guy in the first 2 movies where he was just going to their schools and pretty much attacking them And
Well, he originally first, so he was trying to get his name out for the school, and everybody just wanted to talk about Ip Man. So he went to the paper and he said, "Hey, you're the one writing about Ip Man. Why don't you write about me?" And the guy said, "Why would I write about you? I don't know who the hell you are." And so that's when he started the fight there, and then he started fighting everybody, and then he had to call Ip Man out to try and basically show that he was the best. And Ip Man, because he's taking care of his wife and everything, he just basically turned it down, and they took it as a forfeit, saying like, "Oh, now he's the best."
Well, Ip Man
which was dumb.
Well, Ip Man had just fought Frank. He had just fought Mike Tyson's character, and the only reason I think he fought him was because him and his wife went to the doctor, I believe, and someone showed up to fight him, and they were in the elevator fighting. So I
liked the fight scene. I wish that fight would have finished. I wish that would have finished in the elevator. I like that like the idea of him having to save his wife and also beat this dude up. That was cool.
Yeah. So after that happened, and he protected his wife because she almost got hit a couple times, and he just gently moved her out of the way to a couple of blows. But then he ends up going to fight Frank, and Frank was like, "All right, well, if you can last 3 minutes with me, then we're good." And that's what he does. But to me, okay, so Frank's not going to try and beat your ass no more, but that doesn't mean Frank's just going to leave the school alone. That was not clarified right there. It
really wasn't.
Yeah, so they ended up fighting, and it was a decent fight. I was just like, so Frank was a boxer.
Here's my problem. 2 times now we've seen boxers destroy Kung Fu.
Yeah, we
does that mean Kung Fu only holds up against other Kung Fu?
That's what these movies are starting to look like. Now he did not lose to the boxer in the last movie, and he didn't lose to Frank. This was a tie in this movie. But they looked like they kind of respected each other at the end of the fight.
That's my thing. But are you just doing these? Are these fight scenes set up against these boxers, so it's not looking like we're saying Kung Fu is greater than boxing? Or because for me, it's the fighter. It's not the type of fighting. But both times he's fought boxers, like they did a pretty good amount of damage compared to everybody else who's fighting.
And in real life, man, honestly, he probably would have got knocked out and beat up. Honestly, both times, because I sparred with a pro boxer before, and it ain't the same. And it ain't fun. And they hit hard. You know what I'm saying? I got hit hard sparring. So he got hit. And this time, Frank did not have any gloves on like the last boxer. The last boxer he fought had gloves on. So he's getting punched in the face by a boxer without gloves, without his hands wrapped. He should have been laid out immediately. But it looked like they tied. They came to a draw. The only reason they probably came to a draw was because, in my opinion, is because it was Mike Tyson. If that had been just some other actor that was pretending to be a boxer, I don't think he would have. Huh?
So he would have beat him.
Yeah, he would have. He definitely would have. Okay, now let's get to the last fight. So, like Joe said, Chung Tin-Chi had beat up all the masters. I mean, we saw the masters from the last movie. We saw them. They got beat up, and he just doesn't show up when he challenges Ip Man. Ip Man doesn't show up. Ip Man is spending time with his wife. He knows that time is limited, so he's doing the best he can to be with her. And he doesn't care. Like, he saw it in the newspaper that he was challenged. His wife saw it also, and this kind of reminded me of Rocky 2, because Rocky pretty much decided that he wasn't going to box Apollo. He was going to fight Apollo. He was spending time with his wife in the hospital, and she wakes up and tells him to go fight. And that's what kind of happened here. She knows that he's spending all the time with her, and she knows that he's supposed to be fighting. So she gives him permission to go back to training and to go fight. But if I was Ip Man, I would have showed up to fight with all of the masters and the camera people and the reporters. I'm calling everybody. You're not about to show me up like that. I'm calling everybody. We're going to put on the show, buddy. Come on, let's do it.
Yep, you know it.
Was that Chun Ten-Chi's school that they were at?
No, that was maybe it was.
I don't know where they were because it didn't look like the original place that he was trying to purchase or rent out, lease, whatever.
No, it didn't.
So I didn't know. I was like, because they didn't explain it. He just kind of shows up at this place and he's there. So I didn't know if that was his school or not.
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing. That's interesting.
So they ended up having a fight. It was a pretty good fight. And like Joe said, I didn't see a difference between the two kung fu styles.
Now, for this fight, they started off with like big bow staffs, long bow staffs, or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
And then they switched over to those big, fat. I don't even know what kind of knives those were.
Yeah.
I didn't care for either one of them. I liked when they got down to.
I didn't understand why they even had to have it. So they when you pull out blades, are you saying okay, we're going to kill each other? We could potentially kill each other.
That's what I said. Yeah, the weapons part. I mean, it was. I get what they were trying to do. They were probably trying to show us a little bit more of what they could do, but it didn't get good until they just were hand to hand.
Yeah. So that was pretty much it. Ip Man, of course, wins the fight. It looks like he did that Bruce Lee. What's it called? 1-inch punch.
1-inch punch. Oh yeah.
It looks like he did that, and
he broke that guy's whole ribs. Maybe even hit his heart.
Yeah. And Ten-Chi was done after that, after he got hit with that punch. And Ip Man just kind of walked away. And Ip Man knew he was done, and he knew he was done. And he said, okay, I've been defeated. And that was pretty much it.
Yep.
And then we see that not long after that, she passes away. His wife passes away. She dies of cancer. And that's how it ended. And I was like, oh, man, that's kind of sad. Oh, one part we did miss, we didn't talk about real quick. He goes and he's looking for someone named Mr. Chang. And when he goes to see Mr. Chang, Bruce Lee is there. And Bruce Lee is dancing. And Bruce Lee says, okay, well, I'll teach you how to dance if you teach me Kung Fu. And which was, all right, I guess. I didn't know Bruce Lee was a dance instructor at any point.
Actually, I did know he was a pretty good dancer, supposedly.
I didn't know nothing about that.
I know it's it's weird.
Yeah, but so he's doing that because he wants to dance with his wife. Now, Bruce Lee. I mean, he tells Bruce Lee, like, I didn't tell you to leave my school. I just opened the door. You left on your own. But what was he supposed to do? If I asked to train, you're throwing water at me, you're throwing cigarettes at me, and then you open your door, I would have fucking left too. I wouldn't have stayed there. Like, you ain't about to throw no cigarettes at me or water, and I'm supposed to kick water. Like, I would have took that as disrespect and left too, But Bruce Lee kind of just acknowledges, like, oh, okay, all right, I get it. I left. You didn't tell me to leave. All right, that was kind of whack to me. I didn't like that part. You guys got anything else about this movie?
No, I enjoyed this movie. I'm like I said, this is a good series.
Yeah. Mike was wrong. Because Mike definitely did not want to go through the rest of these movies with me.
There's a lot of people that struggle with that, and I think, like, if you really just get through it, it's worth it because
it's only the first movie though, man. Like, the first movie you gotta read, but these other ones are dubbed. Like, I don't understand. Yeah. Like I didn't even realize. Like, I really didn't even realize that the mouth wasn't matching up with what they were saying. Like, I didn't feel that as I was watching the movie. You
just get used to it after a while.
Yeah, you do. So, what grade do you guys give this movie?
I was going to go with a B+. I like this one slightly more than the last one. I think I gave the last one a B, so I'd say B+.
Go ahead, Angel.
B.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Angel. That's why I gave the last movie. This is pretty similar to me. Like, I enjoy both of them the same.
I get you.
Yeah, both B's. All right, so next week we're covering Ip Man 4. This is the last movie, right?
Yeah.
All right. Oh, did you guys see that by the time the listeners hear this, they're going to already have seen it. But tomorrow, Cobra Kai is dropping something. I'm assuming it's going to be a trailer. But
yeah, it's the last trailer before the show comes out.
Okay. Ooh. Yeah. Okay. That's going to be pretty cool. So we can.
I'm sure they're going to show some stuff because they've been showing pictures.
Yeah, they show some pictures.
So they've confirmed some new stuff. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I did not expect Mike Barnes to be in the movie. I mean, the show.
I was thinking about it, but I thought they would save it for. But they letting the cat out of the bag early.
Yeah, because I thought that would have been something that they would have left like to be a surprise.
I knew he was gonna be in it when I went to that tournament in New Jersey and he was there. Remember I told you guys?
Oh yeah, you did tell us.
Okay.
Remember I told you like
about that.
Like I've talking
about that. He told you he was going to be in it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I just went up and asked him.
See, I don't even know if you're serious or not. I really don't know if you're serious or not, because I've seen interviews before this where he said that he wouldn't say he was going to be in it or not. So he just had a tournament, just telling you, a stranger, yeah, I'm going to be in it.
I asked him in front of a bunch of little kids, so he couldn't lie.
Okay, all right. I would have lied to him.
I know you would have.
I would have lied to him.
Look real bad because I no joke. I asked him. He literally was just like, yeah, shh. And I was like,
All right, so Mike Barnes is gonna be in it. So okay, so we're gonna get some a trailer like Joe said tomorrow.
I'll tell you what, the editing that they do on that man's face is amazing.
Do you mean the Photoshop like for the pictures and stuff that they have?
Like just like when you see him like in person,
mm-hmm.
When you see any of the guys like on the show and you see him in person, like I don't know, like the skin tone, everything just looks completely different. It does not look like that in real life.
Well, I met Martin Cove and William Zabka. I met them. They look like they look on TV to me. Yeah,
he looks tanner in the pictures.
Okay.
He looks tanner. He doesn't look. I'm not trying to say he's fat, but he just looks like slimmer down, like more muscular.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe he looks a little different than he does in real life.
Okay. All right. So we can talk about some Cobra Kai next week after we talk about Ip Man 4. How that sound?
Sounds great
for me.
All right, cool. All right, everyone. Everybody stay safe, stay strong. We will holler at you guys next week. Director, play our music.
Disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.